welcome to another BookTube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I hope you're all very, very well. Today's video, it's an update on how I'm getting on with my low spend / low buy year. So I filmed a video about this in March. I'll link it down below, but I'm probably going to cover a lot of it here again. Talking about how Dave and I get married this year. We wanted to stop spending so much. Also, my spending habits they're much better than they used to be, but they weren't quite where I wanted them to be, and my sort of like buying habits weren't quite where I wanted them to be. So there's a few things that I wanted to look at in terms of like this year being a low buyer and a low spend year, not a no buyer and a no spend year, because that was completely unachievable for me. But since then, guys, we're now in a cost of living crisis. So I picked a bloody good year for it because the price of energy has gone absolutely through the roof in the UK. Price of petrol, unbelievable. Price of food and things like that, it's all creeping up. She needs to polish her glasses. So yeah, could I have picked a better year to do it? No, I don't think I could have. The good news is that it's working. The things that I talked about in that video that I made in March, they're working. I'm going to talk through some of them now. I am creeping my way out of the overdraft. It's happening a little bit quicker than I thought it would as well, so I'm really, really pleased about that, because I've been like strict with myself, and although I have slipped a little bit in the last month, I've definitely been finding myself not buying as much as I used to, and being able, as I said, to creep out of my overdraft, pay a bit more of my credit card off every month, just sort of like just doing the things that I set out to do. So I'm really pleased. So the main thing that I decided that I would do this year was allow myself one thing I could buy a month. So I've got a list on my phone in my notes section, and every time I'm somewhere and I think, oh, I want to buy that, I pop it in my notes section. We're going to go through all of these things in a minute to see if they're like how I'm feeling about them since I put them on, and then at the end of each month, payday, I'm allowed to treat myself, although it's actually ended up being, sorry, so at the beginning of each month I treat myself to something. So I get paid at the end of the month, so I treat myself to something like on the 1st of the next month. And yeah, that's really, really curbed my spending. I was a very big sort of like guilty person in terms of going to the supermarket and doing your food shop and stuff like that, and then buying myself, like, I mean, I'm not talking about recently, but like a couple of years ago, like buying myself a dress, a couple of pairs of shoes, books, things like that in the supermarket. And then, yeah, so I've really curbed, that's been a real good tool for me to actually put down in writing, stop myself for a minute, write it in my phone what I think I want, and then actually revisiting that at the end of the month and being like, oh, do I need that as much as I thought I did? So I'm gonna tell you the stuff that I've bought every month between January and now. The first 3 things I would have already mentioned in my first video, so that might seem familiar. The first thing is a 6 t-shirt. I will insert pictures of me wearing this 6 t-shirt because I've worn it loads. 6 the musical is a musical that I've been to see twice this year and once last year. And when I went to watch it in January with David, I treated myself to this shirt because I loved it so much. Yeah, I've worn it loads. I've been doing a 6 Tudor Queens reading project, so I'm wearing it sort of like every time I film that. I wear it normally, and actually, like, it's lasted me longer than it's in good nick still. I know it's only halfway through the year, but like I've been wearing it a lot. So that was my January purchase. My February purchase was 5 pairs of period knickers, which I'm very pleased about and have been using loads. So very, very happy to do that. My March purchase was this jacket, which I was talking about in the video but didn't show you. So I talked about this is from Lucy and Yak. It's a denim jacket, but it's oversized, so I can wear it, and it's like thinnish denim, so I can wear it now in June over stuff of an evening in the summer evenings, or even now like during the day it's cooler. But then in the winter I can wear jumpers and stuff underneath it because it's oversized. It was £65 and I had it on my Christmas list and I didn't get it, but I sat on it for such a while that when I thought I'm going to buy myself it, it had gone down to £42. So yeah, that was one of my tips in my first video, sit on things for a while. Then in April was makeup month, so I needed to replenish all of my makeup, so I bought foundation, powder, concealer, brow stuff, and a makeup sponge. I'm surprised actually, now I know how quickly I'm getting through that makeup, that I was able to wait until April to get it. I don't wear makeup every day. I wear makeup if I go to work. I would say I wear makeup like 5 days out of 7. And I'm getting through my concealer, my foundation a lot quicker than I thought. So that is something else that I'm gonna have to do. But what I enjoyed about that is that I started using up other stuff, because I was like, well, I want to have, I've got to wait till April to buy this stuff. So I was using up other things and things like that. So yeah, April was makeup month. Then May was skincare month. And I bought myself, I didn't bring any of the makeup, but I bought skincare from 2 places. So Lush is a place where I get most of my skincare stuff, but also there's another brand called Wide Eye, which is based in Rye, in Kent, which is where I live. Is Rye in Kent or is it in Sussex? It's local. And I bought like a combination of, like, I bought a moisturiser from Lush and a moisturiser from, that was a spend up month really. A moisturiser from Wide Eye, I bought a toner, that's almost at the end of it, but I bought another one, as in, this was at the end, so, but I knew I would need another one, so I've got another one. Eye cream, cleanser, another cleanser. So yeah, I had a spend up in terms of that, because that was like, well, I'm gonna get it all now, and then hopefully I won't need to get any more and I can put stuff on my Christmas list. But truth be told, I bought that in May. We're now halfway through June, not even that, and I'm already out of my cleanser. David has been using my cleanser as well, because he has been getting a really spotty forehead because he went on a golf weekend and kept sweating and putting sun cream on top of that sweat, which just gave a really spotty forehead, so he's been using it. But yeah, I've been surprised at how quickly I get through these things, and I think I was able to last as long as May because it had been Christmas and I'd asked for a few things like that, and I think I'd also topped up just before the year started with a few bits as well. So yeah, skincare made me realise how much I spend on skincare and how much I get through it. I thought, like I said again, I'm surprised that I lasted until May. I imagine there'll be another skincare month between now and Christmas, but it did make me use, I'm quite particular about my skin because my skin is quite angry skin, red. I've always got spots on this cheek, always. And yeah, I've found things that I like and that make my skin feel nice. Like, I'm prepared to treat myself to them. I did end up using up like the ends of some moisturisers and stuff like that while I was waiting for May to start so I could buy them. So yeah, that has also been helpful. And then June, this month, I've actually bought 2 separate things, which is, like I said, it's been slipping a bit recently. One of the things was this World of Jane Austen puzzle, which I was delighted by. I bought it, David and I went to visit Goodnestone Park, and they had a little Jane Austen section of the gift shop. And because this month I'm reading Jane Austen books, I sort of justified it to myself by saying, like, you're going to use this on the puzzle, on the channel, which I did. I filmed a vlog where I did this. And yeah, so I regret not buying it, but it was a bit of a sort of like extra purchase this month that I didn't consider. And the other thing I bought, which haven't arrived yet, I need to chase them up actually, is I bought myself a pair of Birkenstocks, vegan lilac Birkenstocks. I can't wait for them to arrive, but I ordered them like on the 1st of June and they're still not here yet. So they should be here. I know we had a bank holiday in between, but they should be here, because I haven't got any sort of slip-on sandal shoes. Everything I've got like involve a buckle or involve things like that, and I thought Birkenstocks, my sister had a pair of Birkenstocks when we were younger and I know they lasted her for years. I really like the colour. I feel like the lilac will go with loads of different things. They're vegan, so they're not made of leather, and yeah, so I've bought myself those. So those are the things that I've bought this year, which honestly, like last year I could have bought all of those things in 1 month and been like, oh, I've got no money, but I've bought all of this stuff. So spreading out of the year, I'm really, really pleased with that. The other thing, as I said, like, because I've been writing things in a list, when it's come to like gift buying for me, I've had a pre-made list. So if we just go through the things that have happened and that I've been able to say to David, oh yeah, just get me this, then that's happened. So this top, which is from Joni Clothing, it's got lots of pasta on it. This was my Valentine's Day present from David, so that was very fun. Then my Mother's Day present from my cat Minnie. This was a very good example of this, because this is a cast iron cooking pot with a lid. I've used this a few times and I'm still managing to keep it absolutely spotless. I've wanted a cast iron pot with a lid for so long, and all of them are so expensive. The Le Creuset ones are unbelievable. I've been looking in charity shops trying to get one, can't get one anywhere. And then when we were in Aldi, this one, which is the perfect size for me and David, because I don't need a massive one, this is like a little mini one. When we were in Aldi, this was £15, and ordinarily, guys, that'd be like catnip for me in the old shopping days. I would have snapped that up and thought, oh, what a lovely thing to buy. But I thought, no. I said to David, is Minnie planning on getting me anything for Mother's Day this year? And he said, of course she is. You're a wonderful mother to that cat. So I said, well, she can get me this. So yeah, there we go. That's a prime example of something so heavy, so, like, unbelievably heavy, of something that I would have bought myself in a shop. What else? Oh, and then for an Easter present, I said I didn't want chocolate, and David bought me Call the Midwife book. Which I was desperately for, and then these two which are on my list of things I wanted, a spider sieve and a sauce whisk. So yeah, again, things that I previously would have just included in a supermarket shop, I've got them as Easter presents, and this ended up being one of my favourite books of the year. So yeah, very, very pleased about that. So yeah, those are the things that I've bought so far this year, and I'm feeling really good about it, so I'm really, really pleased with myself. So the things that I've been putting on that list though, let's have a look and see how I've been getting on. Right, so targeted ads are a problem for me, as in this is where I see most of the old shit that I want. So the first two things, because I've been removing stuff off the list and adding it to like this bit where I've bought them. 2 jumpers from New Look, a black stripe crop jumper, pink and green crop jumper from New Look. I'm glad I put those on the list. Previously I would have probably bought both of those, and how much wear would I've really got out of them? Not that much. A mushroom growing kit. I'll tell you why I've got that on there, because we bought our dads, we bought my dad and David's dad mushroom growing kits for Christmas, and then when they started using them in like January and February, I was like, I want a mushroom growing kit. Ordinarily I would have just bought myself a mushroom growing kit. My life has not been less because I don't own a mushroom growing kit, and I'll probably put it on my birthday or Christmas list this year because I enjoyed it so much. This next thing is Vital, which I think I saw a targeted ad about vitamins. That's coming off the list because I definitely don't need that. A targeted ad about vitamins. That's the sort of thing when I was sat in front of the telly, I'd see that come up and I'd think, oh yeah, I'll get some of those. I don't need vitamins. If I want vitamins, I can go and buy them. I don't need to spend what I imagine was like, I think it was like £17 a week for vitamins. Don't need those. New bed sheets. So that's not specific. I do want new bed sheets. I'm wondering if that might be a future purchase because I like having new bed sheets. In the summer we have loads of Christmas themed bed sheets. So like from November till like beginning of January, we've got a lovely bed sheet situation. I think we've got a few Halloween stuff. It's summer bed sheets that are the issue, but we've got a nice set with oranges on at the moment, so we might not need to get them, but we'll see. These are bigger ones. These are bigger events that I was thinking I'll stick down here, and then if I do get to buy them this year, then great. If not, I'll pop them on my list, or we'll think about them next year. Heated clothes dryer, particularly those really expensive ones in Lakeland because they look amazing. And a dressing table. So 2 big purchases that will happen at some point. Next thing is Joni notebook printed dress. So I've obviously seen that from Joni. I think that's long sleeve, so I wouldn't be buying that now anyway, but if they still make that, maybe that will go on my Christmas list. Arizona vegan Birkenstocks in lavender fog, so when they arrive I'll take them off that list. Carrie Elizabeth necklace. Carrie Elizabeth is the designer that made my engagement ring. I think, like, David was talking about what he wanted to get me as a wedding present. Imagine that, as if he isn't present enough. And I said, oh, maybe I'd like I don't wear any necklaces, and I thought, oh, maybe it'd be nice to have a nice necklace, and like from the same people that did the engagement. So that went on there as a sort of reminder of maybe I'll have that. New hoops charms. I got these hoops from David for my birthday, which are gold hoops, and then you can change the charms on them, which is really nice. So I've got 3 charms, 2 of which are very glittery and almost a bit sort of like Christmassy, one with a star on and one with a sort of, I don't really know what pattern you would call that, but both diamante and lovely. And then another pair and then another charm that's a peace sign, and I think I put that on there thinking, oh, maybe I'll get some like sort of summarier ones like that haven't got glittery on them, but I haven't needed them. So, but I would always like, that's a good thing now that I can say to people, oh yeah, I've got these new hoops if you'd like to buy me a charm for them for my birthday and Christmas sort of thing. Modern Witch tarot deck, haven't got that yet, but still interested. Scandinavisk candle. That's something I have been missing, the old candles, you know. I love a candle, not so much in the summer, so I might be all right until we go into the autumn, but like the Scandinavisk ones are so nice as well, so that is something I'd like. Rosalique, that was another targeted ad. So as I said, I've got quite red skin. This is like a makeup base that's like green, and sort of you put that on before you put your foundation on, and it lessens your red skin. So that's something I previously would have bought, but I put that on there and I thought I might look into that a bit more, maybe get one of those. And then there's an Eleanor Boma tote bag, as if I haven't got enough tote bags. One that's got cowgirl boots on and one that's got goddesses on. I really like both of those things. This is a bit random. IKEA Vardagen measuring glass jug. She'd like a glass jug. 60 musical vinyl. That would be a perfect present to put on my birthday list. T-shirt and trouser pyjamas, and I was thinking this today. I don't like wearing short pyjamas because I feel like it cuts off my circulation in my legs because they just get like, they go right on my bum when I'm asleep in, and like, I like trousers and a matching t-shirt. And the original pair of these were a pair from Next that David's mum bought me like about 6 or 7 years ago, and they are so holey now. They're thin, they're holey, but they're so comfy. And then I've got another pair that's got dinosaurs on, and the neck in it's gone, so it's really like scoop neck, almost obscenely. And then I've got another pair that I bought more recently, like 2 years ago, which have got rockets and stuff on, which are lovely, so they're fine. But yeah, I'm gonna need new pyjamas at some point. And then when the normal time for pyjamas, to ask for pyjamas, would be Christmas, wouldn't it? But then you're getting long sleeve ones, which aren't any good during the summer. Jeans, I've got a pair of jeans that I've put on a bit of weight this year, so they get a bit tight on me. And they've lasted me really good. They've lasted me really, really well. Sadly, they're Topshop ones, which are fast fashion, but they've done me so well that, and I've worn them so much, I wear them like 2 or 3 times a week, I would say. Definitely wear them like all weekend. But yeah, like I said, I've put on, they're still in like great nick considering I bought them. I remember I bought them the Christmas before, so Christmas 2019, and they're still in like perfect condition, but they're just getting a bit small for me. So yeah, need to have a think about that. And then, oh, a perfume I've put down here because it's a dupe for another perfume I liked. Oh, it's a dupe for, I used to wear Lady Million when I was younger. I used to love that perfume. Me and my friend Neve, we lived together and we both used to wear that perfume. And there's a Marks and Spencer's dupe for it, and all of Marks and Spencer stuff is cruelty free. It's called Warm Neroli if anyone's interested, but I thought that would be quite good for the old Christmas list. So there we go, that's that. Now on to other stuff, but yeah, I'm pleased with how that's going. Then, as I said, sorry, as well as the buying stuff, I haven't included anything for the wedding or anything second-hand, and any pre-ordered books that I've ordered for this year. So, and also I didn't include the Women's Prize for Fiction, although I needed to have a better look at that because I said in the other video, like, I was really good in terms of like, saw what audio books I could get for free, saw what I could get for Libby, off of Libby I mean, saw what ones I could get out from my library and stuff like that, and I ended up buying 4 Women's Prize for Fiction long list books. I only read one of them. So I think next year I'm going to lean more heavily on my library because I can put a £1 reservation on them and read them there rather than spend what I imagine was probably 30-40 quid on 4 books that I've only read one of. And I don't, because the ones weren't shortlisted, I don't know if I'll ever get around to reading the other ones. So yeah, that was a bit of a waste. I've been really good with work, lunches and breakfasts. So I've been buying things that last me, so I'm in the office 3 days a week and I work from home 2 days a week, which is super helpful because you can eat the food that's in your house. But when I'm at work, I make sure I don't take in too much food that I'm going to throw away at the end of the week and stuff like that. I buy myself an oat milk at the beginning of the week, and that lasts me for my cereals and for my tea and for the first 3 days that I'm in. So I've been very, very good at that. So I've been very pleased about that. Library use has been brilliant. 27% of my overall reading this year has been from the library, so I'm delighted about that. And I've been using Libby a lot more for audiobooks. Libby is an app that my library has where I can listen to audiobooks. I think there's other ones wherever you may be in the world. Overdrive, I think, is another one. One maybe that's something to do with a cloud or something. And I'm actually hoping to leave Audible by the end of the year because, yeah, I think I do there are some good sort of Audible original stuff that I do like on there, but yeah, I think that I've been using Libby a lot more and Audible a lot less, so I think by the end of the year I'd like to have left Audible. In terms of food as well, we've been using Gousto. I've got an affiliate link for Gousto. Gousto has been an amazing tool for us, where you get you get to pick 4 dinners that come to you, not prepped, but like all the ingredients and stuff like that. So in terms of food waste, we've been really good with not throwing away so much food. I was very, very guilty of like going to the supermarket, as I've said, buying clothes, buying books, buying homeware, and also buying stuff in the reduced section, which I would then throw in the bin. But I've really reduced my supermarket trips this year as well because of Gousto. So we get 4 meals a week from Gousto, not every week, but like quite a lot. And then when people have been using our affiliate link, which is amazing, it means it gives, I think you get 60% off your first box and then 30% off for the rest of the month. As I said, I'll link it all down below. And then I get 15 quid, which is amazing because that like chips off a bit of money from our food, which is great. So I'm always really, really happy when people use that. But yeah, so that's what, and I also said about wanting to eat more seasonally, and Gousto does sort of lean on that and get stuff that's in season. So we've had a lot of asparagus stuff recently. We also had a veg box that we get from a local farm, so everything in that veg box is within 50 miles of where we live. We were getting it every other week, but we weren't using everything, so we've gone down to every third week, and that does seem to be helpful, so we've been enjoying that. But yeah, and we also use milk and more, so we get milk delivered 3 times a week. We get 2 bottles of oat milk and 2 bottles of cow's milk for David over the space of 3 deliveries. We also get bread and eggs on one of those deliveries as well. And you are paying more than supermarket price for those, but it does prevent me having to go to the supermarket to buy eggs or to buy bread, which is then preventing me from like spending loads of money. Like, I can't believe, I used to go to the supermarket, I would say like 5 times a week. And now I go like once every other week, probably. David and I, it's something we have spent money on, and I did say I would be doing this. I'd be wanting to spend more money on sort of like doing stuff. David and I, so David bought himself a cinema pass for our local cinema towards the end of last year, and in April I also got myself a cinema pass because he'd been going, like happily going on his own and stuff. But it's really nice to go to the cinema together, and also to have that option, like to have something to do that's already paid for when we think, oh, what should we do today? Oh, let's go to the cinema. And we've seen some films that we probably wouldn't have normally seen and things like that. So, and David loves going to the cinema. It's so nice to go with him and see how much he enjoys it. Like, even just sat there, like waiting for the film to start, he's like buzzing off his head. So yeah, I've been very, very pleased about that. And we've had some lovely nights going to the cinema, and like one day we watched 3 films in one day, which was like me and my friends used to do that when we had cinema passes when we were like in our early 20s. So yeah, we've been getting, so it's made itself its money back, because I think the cinema pass for my cinema was $15.99 a month, and cinema tickets are £8.50, I think. So you only have to go like twice to make it up, and we've been like I said, like some days we've watched 3 films in one day, so very pleased. I've also been filling my time with sort of reading projects that cost little or no money, including the 6 Tudor Queens series, which I've been doing. Got all the books out from the library, and then just been sort of like dressing up as the Queens, wearing stuff that I've bought secondhand or stuff that I've already got. And then recently June Austen, although as I've mentioned I did buy that puzzle. But yeah, filling myself with like reading projects and stuff. I've been loving doing that. And then, as I've mentioned, we've been going through a sort of like cost of living situation in the UK here. Energy prices have absolutely skyrocketed. This sort of happened just as we were getting into like the warmer months, but David and I haven't had the heating on since April. From April the 1st, we said we're not having the heating on anymore. And it hasn't been like the warmest time ever. We haven't actually had like any sort of like uncomfortably warm days, which David and I are pleased about, obviously. But we were putting on, when we were colder, we were like putting on extra jumpers, wearing blankets. I've got an electric hot water bottle, which is easier to run that than have the heating on in the whole house. So sometimes I plug that in, like when I've been working from home, and sort of like sitting with it under a jumper or something like that. So yeah, it's going well, it's working, it's definitely working, because like I said, I'm creeping out of my overdraft, I'm paying off my credit card and things like that. So that's how it's going for me. Let me know if you're doing a low spend or a low buy year, or if you've got any tips. Always love to hear them. And yeah, this is more of a sort of check-in. This is more of part of like my Lauren and the Books journal thing that I can go back and watch and think, yeah, I was doing all right, rather than, I don't know how helpful this is to other people, but hopefully you've enjoyed it anyway. And I'll see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye!